Welcome to the second week of CGR 4M. Just a few things to bring you up to speed, things that come up in the first week, also give you an idea where you should be and where you're headed. Let's start with that to begin with. Week 2, if you're tracking along on the suggested module sequence, you should be wrapping up the remote sensing unit and fully engaged in the mapping skills unit. That mapping skills unit should wrap up early next week. Just a reminder that the 16th is Family Day. So the due date for the last of the mapping review is the 17th of February. Nearly everybody's on the course so far. That's great. Everybody's getting started. Some people were in pretty late last week. That's no problem. The first couple of units are pretty straightforward. Shouldn't take you long to get caught up, but you should definitely have being back on track as a goal for the end of this week. There's more coming, so you don't want to be always behind all the way along. So the due dates will come up in the announcements on your homepage, so keep tracking those. And get in the habit of getting on the course each day, getting something done, handing something in. Just get into that routine. So, in the remote sensing unit, part 1 of the activities, there was one of the questions around 3.3 where the document seemed to be a bit glitchy. It ends up working out fine. The clickable boxes are still functional, but sometimes it's hard to tell what's what in terms of which question. So just pop back into it in D2L and have a look at it there in terms of the format. And then you can go in and go back to the document and click the appropriate box. All the other sections appear to be working fine, so there's a bit of a workaround on that one issue. In general, download the documents, particularly Word documents that I've provided for you in the contents page. Sometimes within D2L, they just don't seem to open up quite right, or they're not functioning the way they should. So download them and use them, and then when you're finished, you can upload them into the appropriate Dropbox. That was the other issue that came up. Just for a few of you, make sure you're putting the assignments into the correct Dropbox. Check the contents page of the module or submodule and look for the Dropbox that's assigned to the thing that you're working on and put it in the right one. If you put it in the wrong one, it's no big deal. Just, get it in the right one eventually. That'd be great. And the contents page is one of the best places to figure out which Dropbox you should be using. So, with the written assignments, first one's sort of coming up at the end of the remote sensing unit. I am looking for a structured assignment there with an introductory paragraph, body paragraphs, and a conclusion. That will tend to be the norm through the course unless I've specified something else. Give me good structure in your written material. Also provide citations for quotes that you make from sources. Endnotes for the complete citation are fine with numbers in the text at the appropriate points. That'd be great. I generally follow Chicago Manual of Style in terms of the endnotes. But if you're going to use one of the 2 others that are suggested, just make sure that I know which ones you're using and be consistent. They're all good. Just be consistent. Anyways, most of the stuff early on is factual quizzes, which is fine. Give me complete answers, but I'm not expecting vast essays on these things. Okay, this is factual material. Look in the material for the answer. In the written assignments, I'm more interested in what you have to think or what you've researched and found, and what your opinion is on things. Okay. Anything else? The watershed delineation task in the mapping unit. Initially, you do a contour task, and then a profiles task, and then there's the watershed delineation. That's in there because later on you'll have another assignment based on the study area that involves delineating the watershed. So that's your practice assignment there. For the contour mapping activity there, download it as a Word document, go into insert symbol and select the squiggly line tool that's in there, and you can draw on the image, the contour lines. The same technique works for the delineating watersheds task, although it's a PDF, so when you download it, you should convert it to a Word document. You should be able to do that easily enough at school if you can't do it at home. So in both those cases, you want to be able to draw a line on the map. In the watershed assignment, you also need to be able to put a symbol like an X or a star onto the map as well, and that can be done using the same Word tool, inserting a shape, and give it some color as well, so that distinguish the colors of the lines. If there's more than one type of line, if there's more than one symbol, you're using stars or whatever, make sure you put some color into them to distinguish them as well. So pretty typical stuff, but that's the tool you want to use for that. Anything else? As this course progresses, it's going to get busy. We have a field camp coming up at the end of the month. Technically, it's the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of March, but it's basically the end of the month for us. Things are going to get quite busy prior to that, and you're going to be starting the ecosystem management unit. Those of you who are on the WAY team, you're going to be looking at species at risk, wildlife management concepts. The home team here is going to be focusing on winter ecology, because they're going to be doing some winter ecology activities at the field camp, and they're going to be gathering some data that you guys are going to need later on for the aquatic habitat assessment. Anyway, so that's coming up. Definitely February is a real push month in the course. And subsequent to that, leading into March break, you're going to get started on watershed management. So you don't want to get behind at this point. Okay. So anyways, have a great week. Contact me at any time. Send me an email. If you have any specific questions about what you're supposed to do with an assignment, I'll get back to you as soon as I can to make it easy for you to do the assignment, because I'm interested in what you have to say and what you know, not whether or not you can manipulate a computer or not. That's really not what this course is about. So if you have a problem, get in touch with me. If you don't understand something, get in touch with me. I want you to understand the question so you can give me, good responses that show what you've learned and what you know. All right. I will be sending out sort of progress reports and stuff like that, along the way. So you may get there may be an email that comes out as a result of that. So I'm going to try and keep people on task. If I'm seeing you're missing some due dates, well, you're going to get bunged. I'm going to send out an email about that and see what's going on. It's no sense being behind on this. All right. Anyways, have a great week. Enjoy yourself.